We will continue with our discussion from Brhadaranyakyopanishad. We were talking about the Muni Kanda, where the third and the fourth chapters of the Brhadaranyakyopanishad, where Maharaja Janaka had called for a Shastrartha, or a meeting of all the great learned Brahmins. So Yajnavalkya Maharshi was also there, and Janaka Maharaja says, though the one who knows about Brahman, he can take 1,000 cows with gold and embedded in it. You can take those 1,000 cows. Nobody dares speak anything. But Yajnavalkya tells his disciples, take the cows to our ashram. The moment Yajnavalkya says this, all other Vidwans there start challenging him. They said, how can you prove that you are the greatest Vidwan amongst us? So he said, I didn't say that I am the greatest Vidwan. I only said, take the cows there. So then said, okay, you have to answer the questions that we are going to ask you. So like that, each one, bombards one question after another at Yajnavalkya. And he is up to the challenge. So Ashvala is the first one who says, tell me, Yajnavalkya Maharshi, what is the purpose of a sacrificial offerings of a yajna? Yajnavalkya says that are made for the gods, that is the devatas. He clarifies that all these gods are ultimately aspects of that one self. Because I told you, that all the Indriyas, our senses, are the places where all these devatas are located. So they are outside as elements. They're also in our own, each one's body. So then asked, who controls the offerings? Yajnavalkya answers, the vital breath, the prana within, the inner within, and the inner self is what controls these offerings. The breath is called truth, satya. Prana is called satya because it upholds and sustains all life. Yajnavalkya explains that prana leads to speech, breath, and body, making life possible. Then Ashwala asks, what remains when everything merges back at death? Vagvritti, Pranavritti, Manovritti, we had said that how at the time of death this place. Then Yajnavalkya says, self alone remains. Here, self means the Jivatma. The body, senses, and mind dissolve, but the self is untouched and eternal. We talked about it in Bhagavad Gita, second chapter also. This is how Ashocyan and Vashojaswam Bhagwan starts telling Arjuna that body only dies, not the Jivatma within. The self is not born, nor does it. In Bhagavad Gita, we know. It is the observer, the eternal witness. Ashwala then asks about the path of liberation. Yajnavalkya says, only those who know the self attain it. Rituals are useful only when supported by self-knowledge. Otherwise, they are limited in power. So you see, ultimately, the rituals are also performed to move towards the self-knowledge, to understand the Atman. The dialogue subtly shifts towards revealing the supremacy of knowledge over action. Jnana is more important than karma, as we had discussed about Sri Ramakrishna saying that after one gets jnana, karma automatically falls off. He gives the example that when he went to the Ganga to do Sandhya Vandanam, when he took the water won't stay in his hand, it will just fall off. That's the time when he understood that, now karma doesn't mean anything to him. Now, Yajnavalkya continues answering profound questions about life, death, and inner self. The gods overcame evil through the power of the self within them, not by their own strength. The self is the ultimate source of all divine powers. Here different priests are asking questions. Among them is Kahola, about whom we discussed once that, where Kahola says, telling me that Sarvantara Atma, and then Yajnavalkya says, it is that to understand which people leave Putreshna, Vitteshna, Lokeshna and go for Dhiksha and try to contemplate on that Brahman. So the self is not limited by ritual or knowledge. It transcends them and it illuminates them. Each organ, like the eye or ear, depends on the self for its function. Without the self, none of the faculties work. It is hidden, controller, or antaryami. So, after all these, uh, uh, in the Muni Kanda, Gargi also asks, what is that akshara which was Ota Prota, which is pervading everything. And then uh, Yagyavalkya tells it is that, you know, Akasha, which is that Brahman, which pervades everything. Then she asks another question, and at that time he says it is Ati Prashna. If you ask this question, your head will be cut. That means it is beyond the scope of what is being discussed, if that is asked. So there are ways of asking questions also. But this also shows how a woman was also a rishi, Gargi, Maitreyi. They were all jnanis and mantra drishta. Many mantras have been written by them, were revealed to them. So those mantras are known in their name, not because they found it, it was revealed to them. That's how we have understood in the in the when we discussed about the Vedas, that how the Vedas get to be known. Now, in the so this is the Muni Kanda, and how the different people, here again, Shakalya asks one question about the Brahman being within the heart. You remember earlier also we talked that almost all Upanishads talk of Brahman being in that lotus heart. So, how to do Upasana? So, this particular fourth chapter, as well as all the two chapters in the Khila Kanda, the last portion, they are all referring to the various Upasanas. That means how to concentrate on your mind on the self such that you are able to be situated in yourself when you do Nididhyasana. So these are all for Manan. Before Mananam, Shravanam that you do and Mananam, Upasana helps to concentrate the mind. I again repeat, we do puja in one way to concentrate the mind. That is not enough. The mind has to be further purified, the mind and intellect. For that, you have to do Upasana. That means learn to do concentration on any one deity or any one symbol like Om, Kara. So these are all called Upasanas, and every Upanishad has a portion on Upasana. And this is also discussed in the Khilakanda, the appendix, of, as we say, to the Brhadaranyakyopanishad. So, then again in this fourth adhyaya, it is also said, this Atma is Brahman. It's Vijnanamaya, Manomaya, Pranamaya, Chakshurmaya, Srotramaya, Prithvimaya, Jalamaya, Vayumaya, Akashamaya, Tejomaya, Kamamaya, Akamamaya. See, opposite features. That's why Sri Ramakrishna also says it cannot be explained. It is good, bad, everything is there in it. Akamamaya, Krodhamaya, Akrodhamaya, anger without anger. Earlier also in another Upanishad we had read about it. It is Dharmamaya, Adharmamaya, it is Sarvamaya. So whatever is direct, known through direct perception, Pratyaksha, whatever is invisible, that is Paroksha, all that is He, that Brahman, it. So whoever functions in whatever ways becomes like that. If you do punya karma, you become punyatma. If you do bad karma, you become papatma. Like that, this fourth Brahmana is also talking about fourth Brahmana of the fourth Adhyaya. That means the final, the Munikanda, the second part of the Munikanda, because the first part of the Munikanda is talking about the question raised in the Janaka Maharaja's assembly of the great Vidwans. So we have got a bird's eye view of, because Brhadaranyakyopanishad is one of the beautiful Upanishads. It's so vast. But the main thing is this Brahman is you and myself. I am that Brahman. And to explain that, Upasana, creation, how creation takes place, all this is bound together. And then in the form of question and answer in Janaka Maharaja. So you have the Madhukanda because the honey, Madhu is honey. And how does the bee collect the honey? From different places, but brings them all together. And in fact, others take advantage of it. So that is why this Madhu Kanda it is called. Some people interpret it like that. Muni Kanda because it is Yagyavalkya Maharshi Muni or Yagyavalkya Muni who's answering questions of all the other Vidwans assembled in, who are firing questions at him. And that shows that he is the best among them. And then you have this Khila Kanda where again Upasanas. Even in the Muni Kanda, second part is dealing with Upasana, how to do Upasana on Onkar, how to do Upasana on self. All this is explained in Brhadaranyakyopanishad. So, with these words, we will conclude our discussion of Brahman from Brhadaranyakyopanishad. Kayena vacha manasendriyirva buddhyatmana va prakriti svabhavat karomi yat yat sakalam parasmai Shri Narayana yeti samarpayami. Hari Om Tat Sat.